Hey guys, today's date is Friday, May 2nd. Been really busy lately, been busy with school, stuff like that. A million, ACT, I've had a musical, I've been so busy with everything at school lately, so haven't had time to make any videos really. That's why I haven't seen a lot of videos here on my channel. But, here we go. I got a really big update here to show you guys. So let's get started. I'm going to try to go quickly through this. There's a lot to talk about. We have two VHS tapes here in the start. We've got One Man Jury. Not the best movie, sadly. It is a really low-budget 70s ripoff of Death Wish, pretty much. It's nothing that spectacular of a movie, One Man Jury, starring Jack Palance. Nothing special about it. Then we have a 1989 sports movie, Race for Glory, starring Alex MacArthur and Peter Berg. This was actually a really good one. I liked it. It's a long movie. There's a lot that happens in it, but it's still good. It's a generic sports movie plot about motorcycle racing, and it's Peter Berg and Alex MacArthur, and it's a fun movie. I like it. I normally I don't like sport movies. I'm normally pretty bored by them, but I really like this one. It had a good 80s soundtrack, a bunch of cool rock songs in there. It's a very rare movie to find. I got this used pretty cheap, but that was the only one I found. I could not find this anywhere else online. It's a pretty scarce movie. But if you could find this one, check it out, Race for Glory. It's a generic sports movie, but it's a good sports movie. Every time. Alright, and then these next four actually I got for free. Someone in my step family passed away. I never knew the person, but apparently, when they were cleaning out his apartment, they gave my dad and stepmom a gazillion DVDs he had, so they wanted to see if I wanted any, and I ended up taking 4 of them. So, got Basic Instinct, some special edition. I haven't watched this one yet. I like Paul Verhoeven, though. He's a good director, so I look forward to watching this. I've heard it's a good thriller. Blair Witch Project. Everybody knows about Blair Witch Project. I am a fan of this movie. I do like this movie, Blair Witch. I never saw the second one, though. I know there's a sequel, and I know they're making a third one. And so I actually met the entire cast of this movie back in November at a convention, so it's cool to meet the three main people in this. Colors. I was disappointed in this movie. I thought the ending was utter shit, and I thought it was boring. I thought this was going to be like a buddy cop movie of them wiping out gangs. Sadly, that was not what I got, so oh well, not that great. I didn't care for it. Then a horror movie called Anatomy. I know there's a sequel to this one too. I haven't watched this one yet. Looks pretty gross, judging by what I see on the back cover here, so I don't know. Anatomy. So I'll have to watch this one with all the lights out later on tonight. Alright, The Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds. I liked it. I know Adam Sandler did the remake where Burt Reynolds actually is the coach in that movie. This was a great movie. I really liked this one. It is, once again, a long movie. It's from the 70s, but I had fun with it. I liked this movie. I thought it was a fun sports movie. Ed Lauder, rest in peace. Ed Lauder plays a dick, like always. You know, Ed Lauder, he was in this, he was in Girls Just Want to Have Fun as the dick dad, he was in Youngblood as the coach. Ed Lauder always plays a slimy bad guy, but it's fun. The Longest Yard was a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm kind of wary. I don't know, I've heard the Adam Sandler remake is good, but I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. As I said, I'm trying to fly through these because I got a lot to talk about. We got Gravity. After I heard the massive hype on this movie, I picked up the 2-disc special edition. Disc 1 is the movie, and Disc 2 is all the bonus features. I haven't watched any of the bonus features yet, but according to the cover, there's 3 hours of them. I did not love this. I liked this movie, but I did not love it as much as some other people did. I know this movie, like Best Picture and all that stuff. I know this was a huge hit. I know there's a lot of fans of this movie. I liked it, don't get me wrong, but I didn't love it like a lot of people did. I did think a lot of scenes in this were kind of boring. It's not a bad movie. I did think some scenes were boring. Like I wish there would have been some more happening. But overall, it's not that bad of a movie. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. So, would I recommend this? Yes, but for cheap. Like, I wouldn't go spend top dollar on this, because I bought this with a Best Buy card I had, so. I don't know, the best movie of the year, I don't think that highly of it. Like, for me, I like over-the-top fun action movies. If I had my pick, Fast and Furious 6 was my favorite movie of the year, just because that's more my kind of movie. I just like silly, over-the-top action movies. Like, this really isn't my thing too much, but it's still not bad. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I liked it, Gravity, so check it out for cheap. I mean, it's not that bad. Now, this one was a 80s horror movie that I had actually never heard of, which is surprising. I never heard of this movie, and I never heard of anyone who acted in this movie. It's like a complete, like, news flash on me. It's this 1988 horror movie called The Kiss, which it's kind of like Fright Night meets The Hidden with, like, witches. It's kind of a weird movie. It's starring Joanna Pacula, Meredith Salinger, Mimi Kuzik, and a guy named Sean Levy acts in this movie. Sean Levy went on to become a really famous director of Cheaper by the Dozen, Real Steel, Night at the Museum 1 and 2, a bunch of others. That guy actually acts in this movie. And the score is done by a pretty good composer from what I looked on IMDb. I never heard of this movie beforehand, and I never heard of anybody in this movie beforehand, so it was really kind of an odd, like, going in completely blind, not knowing what to expect. I actually really liked this one. The Kiss, as I said, it's kind of like The Hidden, kind of like Fright Night, kind of. Like, it's about this woman who, like, she has this demon inside of her, and she has to pass it down to her niece, and there's all this voodoo stuff involved. It's actually a really good horror movie. I had a lot of fun watching this. It's a lot of, no, this is not a realistic movie at all, but it's good. And actually, the people who did the special effects were the people who did the special effects for the 80s remake of The Fly. So you do have some more talent going in there. This was an 80s horror movie called The Kiss. I really enjoyed this. It surprised me because I never heard of a single cast member prior to looking it up, and I never heard of the movie in general. I never saw a trailer, nothing. It's completely blind right here, The Kiss. But this was if you like 80s horror movies, this was a great one. There are some scenes where it can be kind of slow, but not a lot. I mean, the beginning, there's some cool death scenes in this movie too. So, and I love the ending of this movie too. The ending to this movie is so over the top, and there's all the characters all of a sudden feel the need to start spouting out 80s action movie one-liners. I don't know. I like 80s horror movies like that. I had a lot of fun with that. And now this one, Best of the Best 3, no turning back. Best of the Best 1 from 1989, I loved. Best of the Best 2 from 1993, not so much. So I was kind of wary about this one. I thought this was awesome. I love this. Arlie Ermy was in it, and uncredited, it's basically Philip Ree from the first two movies as Tommy Lee. He goes to some southern town to visit his sister. And the town is overrun by this cult of skinhead, racist, white supremacists. It's just such a fun, over-the-top action movie. Best of the Best 1 had a lot of heart to it. It was a very touching movie, which is why I really liked it. Best of the Best 2, I didn't care for. It's just me. But I thought this was awesome. This is exactly what I want in an action movie. This is my quintessential action movie. I love this. I don't really want... This movie is a blast. Literally. I loved Best of the Best 3, no turning back, so... Yeah, I loved 1, I did not like 2, and I freaking loved 3. I thought this was awesome. I believe there's one more, Best of the Best Without Warning, so I'm definitely going to have to give that one a look. This one has officially piqued my interest in that, so yeah, definitely give it a go. And I was at Food for Less, and I bought this $2 DVD. It comes not even in a case. It comes in it comes in this treasure hunt. Treasure hunt, I don't know. It's this really weird German movie called The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. This thing was weird. I didn't really care for it. I thought it was way, way, way too long. Came out in 2010. Yeah, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. I got this for $2 in this treasure hunt case. I don't know. The Girl Who Kicked... I thought it was weird. I wasn't really a fan of it. This one doesn't need any explanation. Risky Business with Tom Cruise. 80s classic. Then I got these 2 bootleg DVDs of this 80s Canadian sitcom called Learning the Ropes with Lyle Alzado, or Lyle Alzado, I think. Lyle Alzado. It's an 80s sitcom where Lyle Alzado is this professional wrestler, and he's got his 2 kids, and the kids are going through all their troubles at high school. It's such a cheesy 80s sitcom, but I loved it. Lyle Alzado is a wrestler / teacher, and it's just a fun 80s sitcom. I got a kick out of watching this, Learning the Ropes. Triple X with Vin Diesel. Very fun, over-the-top action movie. So many of the scenes in this movie are just so overdone and like over the top, but that's what made this movie fun to watch, for me at least. I had a lot of fun watching Triple X. I know there's the sequel, and yeah, I'll check it out, but I'm just saying I had a lot of fun with this. There's a lot of special features on this DVD too, the special edition. So yeah, Triple X, if you haven't seen it yet, I know it's a pretty common movie, but if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. The Core, a movie a lot of people hate. I actually really enjoyed it. Freshman year in my Earth Science class, we actually watched this movie, and I loved it then. I watched it again now, and I love it now. I thought this is a very fun movie. It's funny at times, but it's very serious. I just thought it was... I normally don't like disaster movies, but I thought The Core was indeed really fun. I really enjoyed this movie. The Core, I recommend it. No, it's not realistic, but it's fun. I really enjoyed The Core. Fun characters, fun cast. I liked it. This movie sucks, so I'm not going to dwell upon it. It's this 80s movie called Midnight Cop with Frank Stallone, Morgan Fairchild, and Michael York. Yeah, this movie sucked. Big time. That's all I'm... Midnight Cop. Don't watch this. This also known as Killing Blue. This movie was a piece of crap. Don't watch it. Whitewater Summer with Kevin Bacon. Now this is an 80s movie with Kevin Bacon and Sean Astin I did like. I mainly got this because in June 2015, next summer, my chemistry teacher is taking me and 20 others on a 10-day trip to Costa Rica. So where such events will include ziplining through the rainforest, kayaking, and whitewater rafting, which I am beyond excited. It's over a year away, but still I'm excited, so that made me definitely want to check out this movie. Hopefully my trip goes better than the trip in this movie, but it's a good movie though. They really make you hate Kevin Bacon by the end of this movie. He really plays a dick in this movie. The soundtrack is good, 80s soundtrack. Hold on for the while. There's some weird scenes in here, like there's a peeing scene that makes no sense. Why is it in here? I don't know, but it's a fun movie. It's it's not really a comedy, but it's more kind of like an adventure drama of these 4 guys, and with Kevin Bacon, who's a dick, and like Sean Astin and this other guy are both young, and then there are these 2 older guys that are also like bullies, and Kevin Bacon is a dick. So it's a fun 80s. I like this movie. There's a lot of scenes with them on the rope bridge and stuff that's really suspenseful. I liked it, Whitewater Summer. And this was a bit of nostalgia for me right here. Real Wheels High-Speed Adventures. There goes a race car, there goes a motorcycle, and there goes a spaceship. These are childhood things I used to love watching. Dave Hood Entertainment, Dave and Becky, there are these informational videos on stuff. It's too long to explain. This is nostalgia right here. It's the only reason I bought this. On the back it says for boys and girls ages 3 to 8. I don't give a shit. This is nostalgia. This is my childhood right here, so I decided to buy a DVD of it. And one last thing that is actually really cool. Oh, I got this big box filled with about 200 VHS tapes. Basically, another bit of nostalgia for you. When I was growing up around 2002, 2003, when I was in kindergarten, one of my favorite shows to watch, my mom and I, every night, like 10 o'clock p.m., was a game show on the Game Show Network called Russian Roulette. My favorite show ever. I loved watching that game show. If you get the question wrong, you pull a lever and you fall through the floor, and I loved it. And GSN canceled it. They brought it back in 2008 and 2009, but then they canceled it again, so I have some episodes recorded, but not much. And basically, I won't say how I got this, but basically I got this big box filled with 200 VHS tapes of basically all of the Air Masters from both season 1 and season 2 of the show. All these Air Master VHS tapes. These are the original screening episode master tapes. These are all the original copies of the episodes, and it's every episode of the show. All episodes. I was just so overjoyed with this. And you even get this one right here. Like, look at that. First episode taped. I'm holding the original Russian Roulette tape right here. It's my favorite game show growing up, and I'm just so overly nostalgic that I was lucky enough and met some very nice people that were able to hook me up with this big box filled with 200 VHS tapes of all the Air Masters of the episodes. And there are even a couple test director screener episodes that never even made it on the network, which is even more exciting. So yeah, this right here is just the most amazing thing I can ask for. Some of the people responsible for this are the nicest people on the planet. My heart goes out to you. It's just right there, all these 200. It's just, nostalgia has overtaken me about this thing. So yeah, that's my DVD update and VHS update for May 2nd, 2014, and next time I do a DVD update will probably be in July, so see you all then. I know I kind of had to rush that, but yeah, so these are all the tapes, and then yeah, look, there's some in there, and some in, and a lot in there. There's, look at all that. Look at all these friggin' episodes. That once, as I said, the most amazing thing I could ever ask for. These are the original Air Masters. Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next.